Hi and welcome to another video of the adventures of Badger. And I've posted a video before where I said that my fuck-ups and my mistakes would be actually more valuable to share than my successes. So today is going to be about that, and this seems to be a good day for it because I just received a parcel from Hitchcock Motorcycles Limited in the UK, and I ordered some parts. There's a story behind it because you might know if you followed the videos that I mounted a short bottle exhaust on it a good while ago, and me mentioning it like an Indian import, and that it was very cheap, and I felt it was a really good deal. Another thing that I did is I bought a Kns Air Filter. Got it on the internet. Again, I went for a very good deal that I thought is like, okay, well, I'm actually saving a good bit of money. It turns out saving money and getting those deals is not a very good idea. So it turned out the exhaust muffler that I got, the short bottle from India, it did give me some initial improvements in terms of pickup, and as well the air filter. I could tell like it made a difference. But over the last couple of months I kind of noticed that my performance and my pickup just like reduced. The bike just started sounding louder and louder and louder. So I decided like, okay, I had to take the muffler off, because another thing was like it was rusting away right in front of my very eyes. So I actually ended scraping it all off and applying a coat of heat-resistant paint. And actually that only lasted 2 months, till I had to like do the same again and put on another layer of paint. But still, I wasn't really happy with the performance of the bike. I did some other things as well. It's like the Kns filter that I bought, it is advertised as a filter that you can clean, so I cleaned it and I thought like, okay, that's going to be alright. But I'm just like noticing that around the lower RPMs I had misfires and things like that. So a while ago I decided to remove the short bottle and put the original exhaust on it. Of course the bike got a lot quieter, and yes, the performance did take a bit of a hit in terms of pickup. So I decided like to shop around once more, and I ended up with Hitchcock Motorcycles, and they're not the cheapest option on the planet, but I kind of like following them on YouTube and looking at reviews, and these guys don't sell you junk. They are very invested in making sure you got good quality. So I decided to invest in their short bottle version, which is definitely a lot more expensive than the Indian version that I got. About 120 euros worth of difference. And just today I unpacked it all, and the minute I took the bubble wrap from the pipe that Hitchcock sent me, it was very clear that I was looking at some real good quality. See if I can switch the cameras now. And here we have the Hitchcock's exhaust, which is like a really beautiful finish. And it comes with a baffler, which I am going to install, because although the Indian short bottle gave a heavy thump, it was quite loud, and at times, especially if I was taking longer trips, it was getting really annoying. So Hitchcock's also included this graphite ring to put in, make sure it has a good fit. I've got a clamp with it and a bracket, and I'm amazed by the weight of it. It's actually quite lighter. So let's have a look at the Indian one that I took off. Right, and oh, it's a lot heavier, and this is just like straight through. You see, there's like no baffle in it, and I think that also influenced my performance as well, because you do need some back pressure in these pipes, and well, just putting them aside it, and like this one has been scraped clean twice, and already you can see like the deformations of rust, and it just like keeps it continuing rusting. And although it looks like a smaller pipe, it's actually quite heavy, so I'm going to have like a good weight improvement on this as well. And another thing that I noticed is, like, you know, it was getting louder and louder, so basically I think this thing was just slowly rotting away, and not actually, you know, giving a good contribution to the performance of the bike. So, well, that's a lesson learned. Getting back to the air filter, Hitchcock sent me this air filter. Well, they didn't send me, I ordered it. It's an S&B air filter. As I'm aware, you can only get it at Hitchcock's, and it looks exactly the same, or pretty much the same, as the Kns filters when you see them advertised. The big difference is, when I ordered my Kns filter, the cheap one, which showed a picture like this on the internet, when it arrived, it didn't have the red fabric in here, it was just black. So again, that showed me that now going cheaper, trying to get a couple of euros saved, is actually, you know, not going to do you much good. I have to say, this S&B filter, it is more expensive, but with a name with Hitchcock's behind it, I'm more likely to trust them. So I also got some brake pads. Again, I didn't cheap out, right? I actually got the best ones they offered at Hitchcock's. So, you know, I don't want to, like, especially with something like brakes, end up with something that looks like a good deal, but is going to end up in tears. Speaking of ending up in tears, you might remember the engine guard. I'm just going to grab it here because I threw it aside. Right. And you might think, like, okay, Frankie, I thought you were happy with the engine guard, how it looked. Well, I was happy with the engine guard, how it looked. And it's just like when I was giving Badger a clean, I came across something quite worrying, and that the engine guard was actually breaking. It was actually a crack. I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually a big old crack here, and close inspection shows that this pipe is really thin. And again, this was such a fabulous deal. Now, I leave it up to your imagination if you have this on your bike and this breaks off while you're doing 100 or 110 kilometers an hour and you drive over that. That's a really bad idea. So that's a lesson learned, Frankie. If you want to get stuff for your bike, don't go for the cheap stuff, because you're going to end up in tears. So we're going to be working on Badger now. We're going to put the new air filter in and a new exhaust, and I have a little bit more confidence now in that I'm getting the proper parts and really start enjoying Badger again, even though we're like a bit restricted with the lockdown. But you can bet your sweet ass that I'm going to take it for a spin once it is finished. So here she is, all done. It was really easy to put this exhaust on. It fitted beautifully. There were no surprises. Everything fitted where it actually should be. I think it looks a lot better on the bike. A bit better than the short bottle. And I've already taken it for a spin. There's a much better performance to her as well. I immediately noticed that the shuddering that I spoke of before in the lower RPM is now gone, so that's definitely the new air filter giving much better flow. The old one, even though it was cleaned, it just like got jammed up, and I just like thought of getting a rewashable filter, but it was a lemon. So now I've got a good one, so that problem is solved, no longer something to worry about. Pickup is really good, definitely not as loud as the other exhaust was, which I'm really happy, because on longer trip it was quite annoying and quite deafening. So as it idles, it has this typical put sound of a Royal Enfield, and a quite deep throaty when you open up the throttle. So, well, talking about the sound is not fine, but you know, let's just give it a start and see what she sounds like. So it's always hard to catch the sound, but this is just running stationary. Now that's just like a lovely thump. Not too loud, but when you do give a bit of a throttle, nice throaty sound to it. So I'm quite happy with how it all turned out, and definitely if I'm going to be looking for parts and accessories, I'll be giving Hitchcock Motorcycles a call, because yeah, I'd rather spend a little bit more money and get quality and do some worry-free driving around on Badger. Okay, thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.